Welcome to Bible Stories Network, where we share events from the Bible daily. Today, we embark on a journey through time, exploring the rise and fall of Babylon, a city steeped in history, ambition, and the enduring conflict between human pride and divine authority. Our story begins with Nimrod, a figure often shrouded in mystery, yet undeniably a force to be reckoned with in the ancient world. The Bible describes him as a mighty hunter before the Lord, a phrase that speaks not only to his prowess in the hunt, but also to his position of power and influence. In a world still recovering from the devastation of the Great Flood, Nimrod emerged as a leader, a protector, and a provider for his people. He united scattered communities, fostering a sense of collective identity and purpose. This, in itself, was a remarkable feat, considering the fragmented nature of the post-flood world. Nimrod's leadership provided stability and direction, laying the foundation for the development of a complex and sophisticated society. Nimrod's ambition, however, extended beyond mere survival. He sought to build, to create, to leave his mark on the world. And build he did, establishing cities that would become cornerstones of civilization. Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, names that echo through the corridors of history, marking the beginnings of organized human society. These cities, particularly Babylon, would rise to become powerful empires, their influence shaping the course of ancient Mesopotamia and beyond. But Nimrod's ambition, it seems, knew no bounds. The story of the Tower of Babel, a monument to human pride and the insatiable desire to reach the heavens, stands as a stark reminder of the consequences of defying God's plan. The people, united in purpose and language, sought to construct a tower so high that it would reach the heavens, a symbol of their own power and ingenuity. They yearned to make a name for themselves, to leave a lasting legacy that would defy the limitations of mortality. This act of defiance, this attempt to usurp divine authority, was met with confusion and scattering, a poignant lesson about the futility of striving against God's will. God, in his wisdom, saw the danger in this unchecked ambition, this desire to elevate humanity to a level that rightfully belonged only to him. He intervened, confusing their languages and scattering them across the earth, effectively halting the construction of the tower and disrupting their prideful pursuit. The story of Babel is not merely a tale of bricks and mortar, but a profound exploration of human nature, our capacity for both greatness and folly. It speaks to the dangers of pride, the seductive allure of self-reliance, and the inevitable consequences of placing our trust in human endeavors rather than divine guidance. Babylon, however, would rise again, its fate intertwined with another powerful ruler, Nebuchadnezzar. This king, driven by his own ambition and a thirst for conquest, would lead Babylon to new heights of power and glory. He would conquer Judah, taking its people and its treasures, expanding his empire, and solidifying his position as a dominant force in the ancient world. Nebuchadnezzar's reign was marked by grand architectural achievements, including the legendary Hanging Gardens, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. These gardens, a testament to his power and the opulence of his kingdom, were said to have been built to appease his homesick wife, who longed for the lush landscapes of her homeland. They were a marvel of engineering and artistry, a symbol of Babylon's wealth and sophistication. Yet despite his achievements and the grandeur of his kingdom, Nebuchadnezzar's pride would ultimately lead to his downfall. A dream, interpreted by the prophet Daniel, foretold his humiliation and temporary descent into madness, a stark reminder that all earthly power pales in comparison to the might of God. For a time, Nebuchadnezzar would lose his sanity, living like an animal, his kingdom taken from him, until he acknowledged the sovereignty of God. Nebuchadnezzar's eventual repentance and acknowledgement of God's sovereignty serve as a powerful lesson in humility and the fleeting nature of earthly kingdoms. He learned that true power lies not in military might or material wealth, but in submission to the will of God. Years later, under the reign of Belshazzar, Babylon would face its final reckoning. During a lavish feast, where sacred vessels stolen from Jerusalem were used in drunken revelry, a ghostly hand appeared, writing a message of doom on the palace wall. Belshazzar, consumed by arrogance and oblivious to the impending doom, was terrified by this supernatural event. The interpretation, delivered by Daniel, spelled out the end of Belshazzar's reign and the fall of Babylon to the Medes and Persians. The words, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Parsin, revealed that God had numbered the days of Belshazzar's kingdom, found him wanting, and decreed that his kingdom would be divided and given to his enemies. That very night, Belshazzar was slain, and the mighty Babylonian empire crumbled. The phrase, the writing on the wall, has since become synonymous with impending doom, a reminder that defiance of God ultimately leads to destruction. Belshazzar, like his predecessors, failed to heed the lessons of history, allowing pride and arrogance to blind him to the consequences of his actions. The prophets Isaiah and Jeremiah had long foretold Babylon's fall, its fate sealed by its injustices, idolatry, and immorality. The city, once a symbol of power and grandeur, would be reduced to ruins, a desolate wasteland, a testament to the consequences of straying from God's path. The story of Babylon is not just an ancient tale, but a timeless message that resonates even today. It warns us against the dangers of pride, the pursuit of power for its own sake, and the folly of placing our trust in earthly kingdoms. It reminds us that true power and lasting glory belong to God alone. The final Babylon, described in the book of Revelation, represents the ultimate anti-God system, a world consumed by materialism, immorality, and the worship of false idols. This Babylon, too, will face destruction, its fall a cause for celebration among the faithful, a final victory of good over evil. The story of Babylon, woven through the tapestry of biblical history, serves as a cautionary tale for all time. It reminds us that our ambitions must be aligned with God's will, that pride inevitably leads to a fall, and that only in God's kingdom can we find true and lasting fulfillment. But the story of Babylon is not just about the consequences of human pride and rebellion. It also speaks to the enduring power of faith and the unwavering love of God. Even in the midst of destruction and exile, God's people found hope and strength in their relationship with Him. They learned that true security and lasting peace are not found in earthly kingdoms or human achievements, but in the unwavering embrace of their Creator. The story of Daniel, a young man taken captive to Babylon, exemplifies this unwavering faith. Despite facing immense pressure to conform to the ways of his captors, Daniel remained true to his beliefs, even when it meant risking his life. His unwavering faith in God not only protected him from harm, but also elevated him to a position of influence and respect within the Babylonian court. Daniel's story reminds us that even in the darkest of times, even when surrounded by forces that seem overwhelming, we can find strength and solace in our faith. Thank you for watching. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to explore the stories and lessons from the Bible here on Bible Stories Network. May God bless you.